And welcome back to this broadcast on KBC Channel 1. It's Channel 1 Weekend where we talk about sport. And this evening we are with an athletics coach, Stephen Mwaniki, and talking about what's happening in Doha, Qatar, where we've got the World Athletics Championships taking place. And I'll tell you this, Kenya has won another medal, and this is a bronze medal in the women's 10,000 meters. And this has come through Agnes Jebet-Tirop, who's a former world cross-country champion. She finished third in the 10,000 meters women's final that has just come to a close. It was won by Sifan Hassan of the Netherlands in 30 minutes, 17.8 seconds. Letsenbet Gide of Ethiopia taking silver in 30 minutes, 21.2 seconds. And Agnes Jebet-Tirop, 30 minutes, 25.2 seconds. Coach Mwaniki, who's a regular athletics analyst on news bulletins, is here. First of all, let's break down this race. Where did Sifan Hassan get it right? Where did Letsenbet Gide probably get it right? Or where did, from a Kenyan perspective, Agnes Jebet-Tirop probably not get it right and earn that gold on the track?
Yeah, it was easy to notice that Hassan was playing a cat and mouse game. She was lying fifth, fourth position as we were putting pressure and pressure. And then when it matters most, that is when she had to strike. And remember, it was just recently when she broke the world record for 1 mile. So with her final kick, it's not easy to match her speed. So that is how she was able to win this event.
And looking at the quality of the women who are in that team, you can't write off Agnes Jebet-Tirop and Helen Obiri. Cross country is basically the basis for the 10 kilometers. Letsenbet Gide, I know as we were watching this as it was happening, you're also worried about her. How would you, break it down such that it came down to these three women? We saw that Senbere Teferi was dropped of Ethiopia, and also Helen Obiri of Kenya was dropped when they broke away from the crowd, and they remained, and they were 5. Those are the ones that were there, and that's what everyone was talking about. How would you speak about that?
Yeah, these are world-class athletes, and it was not easy to be able to differentiate between Hassan Tirop, a world cross-country champion, former world cross-country champion, and also Gide from Ethiopia. These are world-class athletes. So it was for anybody to go for it. And you could see the Ethiopian coming in front, trying to wear out Hassan, but it was too late into the game because you see, if the tactics was to destroy Hassan, we could have started it around 5 kilometers. But now, if you wait for Hassan the last 800 meters or 1 mile, then it's not possible to beat her. And that is why we played into her game. And I want to say that we tried our level best because this was not an easy event. Look at the times. All the 3 athletes, in fact, all the 5 athletes were able to run under 31 minutes. And this is incredible. This was fast race. So it wasn't easy for all of them who were in that event. And remember also the heat in Doha. It wasn't easy for the athletes. So
actually, I want to come to the heat because last night in the women's marathon, we saw Ruth Chepngetich winning a gold medal in 2 hours, 32 minutes. She's a world champion now. She's the 3rd Kenyan world champion in the women's marathon. But Kenya now has got 5 titles. 2 have been won by Catherine Dereva in 2003 in Paris and in 2007 in Osaka, Japan, in extreme heat conditions similar to what we saw in Doha. And from Edna Kiplagat, who won in 2011 in Daegu and also in 2013 in Moscow. And so those are the 4. This is the 5th in crazy conditions. How would you break down the women's marathon from last night? By the way, it was run at night, and anyone who was interested in the marathon was being referred to as a night runner.
Yeah, last night was tactic-wise, we did it well because if you remember, our athletes trained in the Rift Valley. They're all marathoners trained at the Rift Valley, and the Kenyan style is you don't wait for the last kick. You just go early. And what Ruth did, first she tried to break that group, but it wasn't easy because they managed again. They regrouped again, and then when she decided to make it, to go for the front, that was around 34 kilometers, and that was the best plan for us because you see it was the last kilometer into the event whereby she was able to go and get us the gold medal. That was one of the best tactics that we ever used. And I hope that our men will also use the same tactics, because if you wait for the last meters, then it's not possible for us.
But I talk about the last meters. I saw there was a pack, and let me just name them by, let me just go through the list. Ruth Chepngetich, Edna Kiplagat, Vislin Jepkesho, and then there is Helia Johannes of Namibia, who took bronze, and Rose Chelimo of Bahrain, who took the silver. The five were there. Vislin Jepkesho eventually finished 18th, and Edna Kiplagat, she finished in 4th place. Edna Kiplagat is turning 40. She's joining the 4th floor, you know, in less than 2 months' time. But what really worked for the medalists and for those who finished below the medalists?
Yeah, first I want to thank the Kenyan, the panel of selectors, because having Edna in that quartet of our athletes in the marathon, that was a boost for us, because all the athletes who were running that event knew that there was the world champion in that event, and having Edna coming again to try and get another medal, breaking the record of my boss, Catherine Dereba. You know, Catherine has won twice and Edna has done twice.
Yes.
So she was there, one, psychologically to boost the team. And I think even if I'm to do another selection for the Tokyo Marathon, I'll have Edna, because with her age, we have seen athletes winning even at her age, 40 years. You remember the last Olympics? That was in Beijing.
In Beijing, yes.
Yeah, a
when
40-year-old
Catherine took silver. It's a 40-year-old who won that race.
Yeah, so
she was 1.5 minutes ahead of Catherine by the time she realized that Catherine, by the time she realized she was in 2nd place, she had to play catch up.
Yeah, so Edna should also be included in that team. She should be automatically be given this chance, because she has proven that she can play around with the young girls, and she can do something for the country. And that is important. You know, team tactics is very important.
Well, I'll tell you this. The IAAF World Championships in athletics count towards the World Marathon Majors. That means that Ruth Chepngetich has got 25 points, and the top 10 finishes, according to the new IAAF setup, when it comes to qualification for Tokyo 2020, it means the top 10 finishers have automatically qualified for the Tokyo Olympic Games. Edna Kiplagat is in that. Ruth Chepngetich has also qualified. So I count 2 athletes already. Team Kenya selection made easier. Stephen Mwaniki is a coach. But now let's move on to something else that happened earlier today. And we're speaking about the mixed 4x400 meter relay. At the World Relay Championships that took place in Yokohama, Japan, Kenya automatically qualified for this event at the World Championships. And this is after finishing 3rd. And today, it just turned out to be a different story. 3 minutes, 17.09 seconds in the heats. And Kenya finished behind Poland, Brazil, India, Belgium, and Italy. Kenya are not in the final. Overall ranking, they are 11th, but the first heat is what really stood out. The United States broke the world record, clocking 3 minutes, 12.42 seconds, and Jamaica taking 2nd, Bahrain 3rd, Great Britain 4th, Canada. And all those teams clocked 3 minutes 13 or faster. Canada, 3 minutes 16, France, 3 minutes 17. The 4x400 meter relay, you are the coach of that team in Yokohama. So this is your baby. It's now there's, you know, they were crawling then. You want to see them running, but they're still crawling. What's your feeling today and your reaction to that?
Yeah, in Yokohama, I think it was a different ball game today. What happened? Because this time around we had athletes they were at the top of their form. Everybody had picked her form or his form, and this time around I think it was tough for us, because we tried our level best. We tried to be able to make it into the top 3, but we couldn't manage, because we managed top 6. But all in all, I must thank the federation, because exposing these athletes at that level. Remember, this is a world-class event.
It's the best of the best.
It's the best of the best.
But listen, Kenya had already qualified. I mean, it was the top 10 from the World Relays in Yokohama, Japan, and then the other 6 just so that you get the numbers for the heats. So this was already a known event. Actually, for speaking with all honesty, this is the only event where Kenya was sure of participating before the World Championships took place.
Yeah, I know that we all wanted to qualify for the finals, whereby all the finalists in the relays are automatic qualifiers for the Olympics. But it wasn't our day today. But we tried at whatever level we were. We tried our level best, and emerging sixth in that heat was no mean achievement. But if you compare the team which went to Yokohama and this one, there's a very big difference. So we can't compare the two teams. But this time round, we could not manage to be in the finals. But all in all, I want to say we tried our level best.
Well, something has been said about the sprints, because this is your core area. They say that when the calendar was released last year and people were discussing it, on social media platforms or wherever they huddle over their cup of tea and everything, they said this calendar is crazy. It's crazy for athletes. How do you balance a relay, a flat race and everything? But it's come to reality. And now, how would you advise somebody who wants to get into a relay, either single gender relay or the mixed relay, and is a hurdler and can run flat? How do they balance these events now? Because we've got so many 400-meter runners who are coming up. We've seen our teams clock great times at the World Relays in Japan, at the African Games, in Asaba, despite the track not being certified. Otherwise, Kenya would be at the World Relays when it comes to the men's 4x4. What would you advise the sprinters?
Yeah, we need to adapt to what is happening in the world, because if you look at the current, most countries all over the world, they have what we call triple periodization. In Kenya, we are used to single periodization for sprinters.
All right. Triple, single. Explain that.
Single periodization is whereby the athletes do their preparation. We have the general preparation period, and then they have the competitions. And then after that, they go and start again another periodization, whereby you go all through these sequences, because you have to start with the general preparation. Then you come to the specific preparation, and then you go to pre-competition and then competition. So if we will be able to adapt to this double periodization, whereby this season we were able to go into the double periodization, whereby we had the relays. We had our relays in the final trials in 10, that is in the month of April. That was the first periodization. Then we went into the second periodization, whereby we've run the national championships and even the trials. So if we will be able to adapt that, then 2 or 3 years we'll be at the top of the world also. We'll have good sprinters. You see, we have several women who have broken the 52 seconds, like Mora did 51, like Helen Siombua did 51. So if we can be able to adapt that, and the federation include that into the calendar of events, then we'll be able to break even, because the single periodization does not favor the sprinters. You look at the middle and long distance, they are in the double periodization. Wow. They start with the cross country. Once they are through with the cross country, they come to the track, whereby they go up to July, September, where we have major championship like the World Championship and the Olympics. So we need to adapt that kind of calendar of events, and this will promote the sprinters and promote sprints in the country.
All right. Now, as we close, Unisum, she's in the final of the women's 800 meters, finished 4th in her heat, 2nd in her semi-final. Is she going to get a medal for us in the 800? Is she a medal prospect?
The 800 meter is a seesaw battle. It's not easy to predict, but for me, I'm seeing that her being in the finals, it will depend with the tactics that we'll use, because we have to plan for this event. It's going to be tough with the Aja Wilson from US and the likes of the Ugandans who are coming up.
Halima Nakai and Winnie Nanyondo.
Yes, we have to plan. It must be planned to the letter.
She's alone, so she has got to work.
Yeah, she's a lone ranger, but we can pull surprise.
All right, 5,000 meters men, Jacob Krop finished 2nd in his heat, Nicholas Kimeli 5th in his heat. The prospects?
5,000 we have to contain the Ethiopians. You can see the Ethiopian running machine is there, But we can also still pull surprise with the athletes. They can do something in this event.
All right. Finally, Beatrice Chepkoech having Kiang self-interest poll. 1, 2, 3. Are we getting that in the women's 3,000 meters triple test? The Americans did it. Are we getting this back?
Yeah, we can do it because if we'll be able to run in front, all of us, we do the Kenyan style, run in front, where the opponents wear them down, then we can do it.
All right. Well, that's it from Stephen Mwaniki. We've been speaking about the World Athletics Championships that have been taking place in Doha, Qatar. We'll keep up with this. And tomorrow, outside of this, also the Berlin Marathon taking place tomorrow. Can Gladys Cherono retain her title? Can Enisa Bekele? Can he win it? That's the impact that Eliud Kipchoge has. Not everyone's forget about this event, but we'll keep up with that. It's been a pleasure being with you throughout the evening. Thank you very much, Coach Mwaniki, and also my colleague, Purity Musea, who was with us. Our sign language interpreter has been Lucy Mora, and on behalf of the team that put together this news bulletin, I want to wish you a very good night. I am Daniel Wahome.